Now you'll learn how to build an existing ground surface. We'll add data to the surface using points, polylines, text and contours. And you'll learn about weeding and supplementing data when using contours. From the Iowa City 0207 project, Design Models folder, open the drawing Building Existing Ground Start. We're now going to start building our existing ground surface from project data that we've acquired from a variety of sources. This existing ground surface will be the base drawing for all of our site design from this point onwards. In this drawing we have the survey points point group, which was created from our survey point file. We also have some contours which have been extracted from a DEM model from the US Geographical Survey data. These are just lightweight polylines with a height. To create a new surface we could use the Home ribbon tab and on the Create Ground Data panel choose Surfaces and then Create Surface. However, we're going to use Prospector to create our surface, since this provides easy access for everything that we need to do. In Prospector, right-click on the Surfaces collection and choose Create Surface. This surface will be a tin surface made up of irregular triangles. Override the default name and rename it to Existing Ground. It's good practice to give your Civil 3D objects names that your co-workers will understand. You can enter a description if required. Set the surface style to Contours 1 foot and 5 foot Design. This will show coloured contours at 1 foot intervals. Click OK. We've just created a new empty surface. Now we need to start adding data to it. We can add data to a surface using the ribbon. On the Modify Ribbon tab from the Ground Data panel, choose Surface. Then on the Surface Ribbon tab from the Modify panel, there's an Add Data button, which can be used to add data of different types to the surface. We can also add data to our surface using the Toolspace Prospector tab. Expand the existing ground surface in the Surfaces collection. Expand the Definition item. Here you'll see all the different methods of adding data to the surface. First we're going to add our COGO points. Right-click on Point Groups, select Add, and from the list of point groups choose Survey Points and then click OK. You'll see the data has been added to the surface and the surface is displayed in the model space as contours. Now we're going to add the contour polylines to the surface. This is going to provide less accurate surface data around the immediate site boundary, but we can use this additional area of surface to provide context to our project. Select the Contours item, right-click and choose Add. Enter the description Contours from DEM. Each contour will have a lot of vertices along the line, and this will subsequently generate a large number of triangles in the surface, which could affect the performance of our models. We can adjust the number of vertices that are added from the contour polylines using the weeding and supplementing factors. The weeding factors control the removal of points from the contour. If the distance between vertices on two line segments is less than the weeding distance, then provided the deviation of line segments is less than the weeding angle, the middle vertex will be deleted. Supplementing factors control the insertion of interpolated points to ensure similarly sized triangles are created. If the distance between two contour vertices is greater than the supplementing distance, then additional vertices are added. If the contour lines are curved, then additional vertices may be added around the curve so that our surface triangles will match the contour more accurately. If the mid-ordinate distance of the curve segment between two vertices is greater than the supplementing mid-ordinate distance, then additional vertices are added so that the separation of surface triangle sides and our curve will match the specified mid-ordinate distance. In the Minimize Flat Areas by section, select Swapping Edges. This ensures that triangles will be rearranged to prevent triangles from spanning a single value contour and thus creating a flat triangle. Click OK, and in the model space use a crossing window to select all of the contours. Press Enter to accept the selection. The contours are now added to the surface definition. We can't delete the original polylines as this will delete them from the surface, so to prevent us selecting them again by accident, we'll turn off their layers. From the Home ribbon tab on the Layers panel, click on the Layers pull-down list and turn off the layers 0 DEM Contours Major and 0 DEM Contours Minor by turning off the light bulb icon. We're now going to add some break lines to our surface to improve the surface definition. When we add break lines to a surface, Civil 3D will re-triangulate the surface to ensure that our surface triangle sides lie along the break line and don't cross it. From the Insert ribbon tab on the Block panel, choose Insert and select Blocks from Libraries. Add a new library by picking the Add Library button. Navigate to the Civil 3D Projects folder, Iowa City 0207, and then the O2 Base Data folder and click Open. From the library now displayed, we're going to insert the 3D break lines drawing. First, ensure that none of the insertion options are selected. Right-click on the 3D break lines drawing and choose Insert and Explode. The break lines are inserted into the drawing. These are 3D polylines representing surveyed features on the ground. In Prospector, select Break Lines from the existing ground definition. Right-click and choose Add. Enter a description of 3D survey. There are two main types of break lines, standard and proximity. We use standard when our break lines are 3D and we want to add the break line heights to the surface. We use proximity when our break lines are 2D polylines. In this case, Civil 3D will ignore the Z value of the polyline and only use the XY position of the line to control the triangles. Ensure the break line type is set to standard and click OK. In the model space, use a window crossing to select all of the break lines and press Enter to accept the selection. The break lines will be added to the surface and the contours will update. The Event Viewer may be invoked by alerts triggered during the surface rebuild. You can review warnings in the Event Viewer and zoom to specific issues to review them. Some break lines have not been added where they cross another break line. Close the Event Viewer. We're now going to add some additional survey information from a 2D survey drawing. From the Insert ribbon tab, Blocks panel, select Insert, then Blocks from Libraries. Select the 2D survey drawing, right-click and choose Insert and Explode. The 2D survey has text values to represent the survey levels. These have no Z value, but the contents of the text provides us with the required elevation. We can raise these text items up to their correct Z values. Select one of the text values, right-click and choose Select Similar. From the Modify ribbon tab, Ground Data panel, choose Surface. From the Surface ribbon tab, Surface Tools panel, select Move to Surface, then Move Text to Elevation. The selected text objects will be given Z values based on their text contents. Back in Prospector, under Existing Ground and Definition, select Drawing Objects. We use this method when we want to add data to our surface that's represented by existing AutoCAD entities. Right-click and choose Add. From the list of types, choose the Text filter. Type a description of 2D level text. In the model space, use a window crossing to select the area of 2D text. Press Enter to accept the selection. Again, the surface will update with the new information we have added. We're now going to add the 2D features as break lines. In Prospector, select Break Lines, right-click and Add. Type a description of 2D survey. Set the break line type to Proximity, since we don't want to use the elevations of the lines in the surface, and click OK. Use a crossing window to select all of the polylines in the 2D survey and press Enter. Close the event viewer if it appears. The result of adding the 2D break lines can be seen on this embankment where the contours now run along it. Now that we've added our different data sets to the surface, we can review it. Select the surface by clicking on any contour. Right-click and select Object Viewer. We can see in the 3D view that there are some mistakes in the surface which we'll need to correct. We've now created our existing ground surface, and our next task will be to edit the surface to correct any errors. We'll see how to do that in the next video.